What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more of The Grid. And we're returning to Electric Head 1990. Thank you again to Kim. And the next track is Dr. Celine, or Celine. I'm not sure how it'd be pronounced. It's not a name that I've seen or heard. But yes, I feel like this is another title, even though it's not a single word title, that is tough to get a read on. It's more or less a title and a name, and obviously what that person may be doing or feeling, or how they may be perceived or interacting with another person remains to be seen. So I'll just try to catch what I can on a first listen. This is The Grid. The track is Dr. Celine, or maybe Celine, and it's from the 1990 album Electric Head.
This is the drum cupboard, and these are the drums.
I assume that leads into maybe another interlude, perhaps the beginning of the next tune, although it could relate to some of the phrases. So, Dr. Celine, we had a clear answer right away as to the pronunciation, and again, I don't know if that's drawing off some other cultural reference or whether it's just a created name slash character for the tune. But we're talking about like day and night or morning and night and dreams, and I don't know if the lead vocal and that response vocal are articulating a larger passage or if it's a reply to the first, but the going on until morning and then like into a dream, which normally morning you think of waking up, but then if you're going into a dream, that could have a different meaning, and then night going away, so again the transition between night and day, the beginning of a new day, light and dark. So I don't know quite how it all comes together. Maybe the doctor is the one pulling the strings, or maybe hypnotizing, or at least operating on, or diagnosing, or treating in some sense the other character. So like lyrically I don't really know what's happening. And then there was that like sampled vocal, which was it like get down to earth, and then there was like another part, and I'm not even sure the first part was get down to earth. It was like get down to something, but it was very like it sounded like it was ripped from like an old VHS tape or maybe Betamax or something. Like it really had this sort of garbled quality, and it seemed to be more rhythmic in the larger structure of the track. But I enjoyed the sonics. It was sort of like electro meets techno. Parts of it had a bit more of a like breakdancing electro feel, and then other parts had a more like four to the floor feel. There were some, maybe not like xylophone, but some like struck percussive elements that were sort of tumbling along, like a dissonant synth that was like a beep or like a series of beeps that again it had a sort of a wicked quality to it. But the overall atmosphere wasn't particularly dissonant or evil or anything. It just kind of had this darker feel to it, so maybe even that could be relevant to the themes. In any case, a fun tune, and one that I think does speak to the vibe of some dance tunes that I've heard late 90s, late 80s, very early 90s, before the genres that I as a 90s raver became more familiar with back then, and into the present, which is to say like acid trance and proper like warehouse techno and so on. Even if techno was already around certainly by 90, but it wasn't quite what it would become in the next few years, which is the type of techno I'm familiar with. And electro, again, is a genre that certainly by the 80s had been around, and by the 90s was evolving, but it's not a genre that I have a great deal of personal history with. So I don't know it, or the contours of what characterizes this substyle of electro or this period of electro and so on. But that's how my brain took it on a first listen, and I enjoyed the vocals, like the proper vocals. Nothing like super expressive like in terms of the singing, but they fit the right atmosphere of the track overall, I would say. So yeah, a cool one. Curious to hear what Kim will have to say. Thank you again to Kim for sharing a great many things, including the grid. Do let me know what you think. I will see you next time. Peace.